to elevate.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Two Brothers channel. I'm one brother.
And I'm the second brother.
And I'm Rika. Welcome, everybody.
Hey, guess what? This is going to be part 2. We're talking about our personal development journeys, and we have with us Mr. Akiji. We have Mr. Akiji with us, and we're going into so many things, but the time was going now. One thing with our channel is this: our videos are not 5 minutes long. They're not 10 minutes long. They're not 15 minutes long. They're 30 minutes. You know, now, and you see, some people may think, oh, why are they always this long? Well, first thing I will say is this: you don't have to watch everything at one go. So I have people that I watch on YouTube. Kevin Samuels comes to mind. His videos go for 3 hours. I actually know a woman, Crimson Cure. Her video goes for 6 hours. So how do you do that? How do you do 6 hours? No, what you do, you watch 15 minutes and you remember, okay, I've seen 15 minutes. Then you come back to it. Then you come back to it. You come back to it. Okay. Hours is not going to be 6 hours. You know, and hours is not going to, at most 1 hour. Okay. So for all those people out there that are saying, oh, they're too long, they're too long, they're too long. You can always remember, I'm only going to watch 15 minutes, then I'll come back to it and then take it from there. Mr. Kale, what do you think before I bring Mr. Kale?
I think what you find is that we are considerate of people that have data limitations.
Yeah.
Hence why we always want to break our videos so it's not way too long. But, you know, the library is there for you to come back to and listen to over and over and over again. Because like Mr. Phil said, you know, the second time you listen to a particular video is as if you haven't even listened to it before. Because you're hearing new things and you've even grown beyond where you were before. So you're able to absorb more information than you were at first. So back to you, Mr. Phil.
Hey, okay, before I actually get Mr. Akiji to come and grace us with his presence again, Rika, do you want to say something?
In terms of video length,
No, in terms of anything.
Oh, no, I think we should get straight into it.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, Akiji.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. Welcome to the show.
Akiji, welcome you to your show. You're gonna do some amazing dancing. So, Akiji, we're talking about before we ended the last video, we were talking about the fact that we in Africa, we had mild weather. We didn't really have any. Nature was kind to us, and because of that, you know, there were some factors that encouraged our downward swing. Over to you.
Well, like I said before, nature was kind to us. We had no reason to be suspicious or to be aggressive or hostile towards foreigners. We welcomed into our society. We were open, we're open and welcoming and hospitable. We had no reason. Nature was abundant. We had a lot to share, which we shared willingly. We welcomed them to our society. We had no reason to hoard or be hostile towards anybody or towards foreigners. And maybe they probably took advantage of that and said, these people, they seem to be so welcome.
Sorry, I'm not looking to cut you. And it's not a case of maybe.
So open and so welcoming and
yeah, it's not even a maybe, it's a definite, because we see what happened to Africa actually exactly happened to South America. And there's this thing called El Dorado. And the idea of the El Dorado was the Spanish heard that there was gold in South America.
Yeah.
And again, in South America too, they had the same beautiful weather. There are films about it if you want to watch it, you know. And they actually said it. They said, these people are mild. This is for us to be taking. To make it even worse, I'm not trying to, go there, but they saw that the which was the same in places in Africa, they saw that the women were topless. They got there like, this is heaven. Topless women, food, fruit, gold. This is heaven.
And these were not the local man of the streets. These were soldiers, hardened soldiers. Sorry, Mr. Filter jump in,
No, please, no,
carry on.
No,
because,
yeah, please carry on.
Because you can see like where a soldier, that has been used to war, and used to the war kind of military lifestyle, being, thrown into a midst of mild, beautiful, healthy people, and it's just like, okay, this is not what he's used to,
And so again, it's human nature. I wouldn't want to make this a white and black thing. I'd want us to go. I want us to have a wider view at this. And why I say I want us to have a wider view and look at it from economic terms, and look at it from take away color, and just look at it as human beings and human. What would you do if you were in the same position where you got to a place after you suffered like you have suffered in Nigeria? There was no food. Then you get to the place, they don't even have any problem. They have light. They're inviting you in. They're feeding you. You'll be like, these people don't know life. They're even giving you their children. They're giving you their daughters, which is what happened. Human nature will take advantage. Even if the four of us would not take advantage, other people that come from where we are will start taking advantage, and the four of us will be like, come on now. And they'll be like, you are the one that doesn't want to take advantage of them.
Yeah.
And then the competition. So again, I did an audio making a case that slavery is not actually about color. Slavery is not actually about white eating black people. Slavery was purely economics. Slavery and all the taking advantage of what they did in Africa, they did it in South America as well. So it shows that it wasn't even, it was the same thing. They killed their nobles. They did so many atrocities in South America to the Incas, who had even bigger civilizations than them. I think that was what that Mel Gibson film was about. But more than that, slavery was about economics, because if you think about it, if you can have free labor for your lifetime that you don't have to pay for, then and they make it legal where you come from, man, you will go and get that free labor so that you can put your feet up. So it's human nature. These forces happening is again not, it's economics, purely economics. What do you think, Mr. Clay?
Yeah, man, I will have to agree with you, because I mean, it's hard not to see color when you're talking about slavery.
Yeah.
Because it's close to home. But when you take the emotions out of it and you see what it was all, designed for, and how it was built, and how ruthless they were, and what they were trying to, the industries they were using to build, then you can then see another, way of, it was a problem that they created, and the whole world, created. It was an old different age of industrial, before the industrial revolution, and how all that came about. So I can understand that.
And you know what is going on very quickly, then I'll hand over to Mr. Kiji. What is going on now is that we're now actually in an age, because it's technological driven. Mr. Kennedy said it wasn't black people that actually went to rescue the slaves. It was the fact that the white people it got to a point where it wasn't really that economically viable anymore, and it became an embarrassment to keep slaves, because the Industrial Revolution, machinery, factories was coming into force. Okay, but now we're interestingly in a time where AI and automation will be the new slave class. So again, imagine a world where labor is free. We were talking about in slave time, labor was free because they went to go and catch slaves.
Yeah.
But we're now approaching a time when technology is going to make labor freer and freer. What sort of world do you think we'll have? Because then it's not going to be about color anymore.
Fine. Well, right. You said that it was pure economics. Partly, well, okay, let's say it was pure economics. Pure economics or not, does that change the legacy? Because what's still on the ground today? Legacy is still on the ground. We're still dealing with the fallout up to now.
Definitely.
And the people that suffered for it are still suffering for it one way or the other.
Definitely.
Whether you agree, whether you know it or not, whether you agree with it or not, whether you are aware of it or not, it's still on the ground. You say it's pure economics.
Okay, now this is where I know some people will want to fight me. It's because you're going into reparations now. And a lot of people want to stone me for saying or thinking this way. I believe that if you have, say, slavery means that you've cut my arm off. You've cut my arm off. I don't believe you can compensate me for that hand with money.
Never, ever, ever.
Yeah, especially when you have replaced you have all the structures that money that you're giving me is going to go back into anyway. So say they give us reparations and they say, Africa, here is 40 billion or 40 trillion, whatever, pounds, dollars, whatever. What structures do we have to hold those money?
You are talking in monetary terms.
No, it's monetary terms. How are they going to recompense? What kind of what should I call it? Okay, let me finish what I'm saying, then I'll let you talk. Now, if they give us money, then the next thing they will say is that now don't talk about it anymore, because we've paid you. Shibi, we've paid you. In my books, that is not a payment that I will be happy with, because that is not real payment in my books. Over to you.
Well, payment, what is money? Maybe we should start with what is money. A piece of
paper, so we're talking about
reparation.
Reparation, yes. Okay. So what would they do for reparation?
How can, like you said, how can you pay a man that is chopped his arm off? I think how much all the money in the world never pay the man back.
Thank you.
All
so
the
we're
money
on the same page.
Will never compensate the man for the loss of his arm. So all this talk about money, what is money? All the judge have to do is go to the central bank, print the thing out, and shove it at you. Even if you say you want 100 trillion, they will print it out. It's all about printing. Don't you see, when you don't understand how money works, you think, oh, tell them you want 100 trillion. It's just a piece of paper. All the judges just run there. It's like printing IV invitation cards. It's like printing, printing council tax bill. They just want the thing. That's okay. Is that all you want? Is that all you can do? Is that as large as you can count? Oh, you want 100 trillion? Okay, fine. We'll bring it. That's 100 trillion. Please.
Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page. I'm glad. So, okay. So do you think, the question now is this, do you think they can give us reparation?
Yes, we want something higher than money.
Okay, so what?
We want infrastructure. We want a place where we will be in total control without their influence.
Okay.
Now, okay, so Mr. Akinji, so what you're saying there is Okay. The market, when I say the market drives a lot of how these people operate, how the world operates. And the question is, who owns the market? Who runs the market?
They control the market and they know it.
So,
What I want for you.
are you going to be allowed to create your own market?
Exactly. Now you're talking. Now, can we have our own ecosystem where we're in total control and total, where they do not influence, they have no influence on
Oh, no influence. Okay, because we know when it comes to power, it's all about influence, right?
Exactly.
So
all this money talk,
now,
forget about money. It's just the printing press and ink that's going to cost them.
so what are you saying? Leave us alone for 100 years and we'll, what are you?
No, let's have our own things.
Okay,
Put
sorry
our
about
own
this,
system.
but then I'm going to let Rita in. The moment it's like me, there's a, okay, what you're saying, Akinji, sorry, I have to use this example. It's like there's a strong man and he fancies my wife. And I look at my wife and my wife is like, I'm helpless. And the guy said, I want your wife. Then I tell the guy, let me have my wife. And the guy says, I'm coming for your wife. And there's nothing you can do about it. My point here is this. The moment I am saying, let me, it shows that I don't have the power. And it shows that I have to go and build that power, because that power can never come from the guy that wants to take what is mine.
Yeah.
So when you say, let them make us have our infrastructure, you're asking the wrong person for the.
True.
When you say, let them leave us alone, Mr. Clay. So
Yeah,
again, please.
It's so, what you're saying there is so powerful, because these are things that people are scared to say. You know, because like I say, we did not free the slaves. It wasn't that we got together. It's just like the
Organize yourselves.
Jewish, did after the Holocaust. They said never again, right? We'll pay the money, we'll make alliances, we'll expend our brightest minds, to make sure that this never happens again.
Yeah.
There's that collectivity is still lacking. And I pray that the generations to come address that. And the semblance of that happening, with social media, connecting people together and sharing ideas and sharing one vision. So, but Mr. Kinji, I'm more interested in finding out the solution that you're talking about. So, what else? What else would you like?
Well, until we have our own system, which we are in total control of, there's no point in saying, oh, money cannot compensate. Money is just a piece of paper. Money is just a piece of paper. And like you said, and like you alluded to, they have the infrastructure to take them back for. What do you want to do with the money? Is it buy a house or buy land, or you're going to give it back to them anyways? So whichever way it goes, that money is going to end up back in their pockets. So what's the problem about money here?
They will just tell you the next day. Now the houses that was 500,000 is now 2 million.
Exactly. So all the money goes back to their pockets again, and you're poor again. As you were, now you just have more things you just have more toys to play with.
Okay,
so
now
more toys to play with for your legacy.
So what we're saying is that we need to take responsibility from the foundational level.
Yeah.
For all our infrastructure, for all that we need for our welfare, for all that we will need for our survival. Like Mr. Kinley said, when it happened to the Jewish nation, they said never again. They did not say never again, then went to talk to the people that oppressed them. No, they took full responsibility. And you know what they did? they did it quietly. They took full responsibility quietly. That means that I'm not asking you for permission. I'm not asking you for allowance. I'm not asking you for approval. I need to take responsibility for myself. And they went into agriculture. They went into science. They went into so many things that now everybody's kind of looking at them in the corner and they're looking at everybody in the corner. You try anything. You try.
Well, that's true, and it's also funny. But in terms of us creating our own infrastructure, obviously that all starts with taking responsibility, as you said, and like obviously each and every person going on their own individual personal development journey, and then coming as a collective and honing our skills and our influences on our understanding and knowledge all together. But I was just wondering, because in the past, obviously it's the past, but I'm still optimistic for the future. There was something, correct me if I'm wrong, but Black Wall Street was a thing.
Yeah,
and did not turn it down. I thought the Black people wanted to come together and create a place where they could start thriving and start selling within themselves and owning businesses and everything. So
they burnt it down.
They came and burnt it down. So what about now? What about now?
Wait, that's again. This is this thing. They built the Black Wall Street in and under white power.
Oh, okay.
So again, it is the strong man saying, I want your wife. And you are saying, don't come and beat me up.
So how would we disassociate ourselves from the system that's currently in place? And
look, I'm not saying there's good or they're bad. All I'm saying is this. You need to build yourself to the point where the person that wants to come and tackle you feels they need to think twice.
Yeah.
That is what the Japanese did. That is what the Chinese did. That is what the Jewish did. That is what everyone that takes responsibility for their own sovereignty eventually has to do. Black people were the only ones that expect everyone else to be fair with us. We're the only people that expect everybody to care about us. Everybody to take care of us. Like Mr. Kelly said, what we're saying on this channel is what a lot of people will not say. And again, we're saying it. There's no amount of money that they will print that will make up for 400 years of slavery. They can't repay us. And we have to be very careful not to fall into that trap where they will say, okay, shut up about it, we've paid you. We need to be able to tell them that, no, you can never repay us. And again, we have to open our eyes to realize that the infrastructure in place will just siphon that money back. So the only reparation we can have for real is the reparation we do for ourselves. And what does reparation mean? It means repair. It means repair. The only real repair that is going to worth anything is the repair that comes from us, for us. Does that make sense, Mr. Clay?
Repair that comes from us, for us, by us.
Yes.
With us in mind, because like you say, it's not a racist, it's not a racial thing. It's just like I look at the footballers in the Premiership. How one time there was only one black player in the team, and then now you can't see a Premiership team or top team without at least 4 or 5 different black players. And it's not so it's not, and it's not because they're black. It wasn't because anybody went up to them and said, oh, can you please make this fairer? We need more black people playing in the team. You know, it wasn't. Those were not the conversation. It
It
was
was
just like
simply, these guys are better. Carry on, Mr. Clay.
yeah, yeah. You know exactly where I'm going, Mr.
Please,
Phil.
please.
This is the standard. Beat it. You know, and we have the history of beating the standard all the
Over.
time. You know, there was a time where dunking, when they invented the game of basketball, dunking was not part of the program. You know, 3-point shooting, you get more points from shooting from outside the line. Then this guy took the basket. He said he just put the ball into the net. Okay, watch. Took the ball and dunked it. You know, and everybody's like, "Is that allowed?"
I didn't think of
That
that.
was a part of the game.
But look at that. It takes a black man to take the ball and have the physical athletic ability to jump in the air and say, is it to get this ball into that hoop and make sure it doesn't come out? Okay, boom. Over to you, Mr. Clay.
So the same way, we have to apply it to everything.
Thank you. Thank you.
Back to
Thank
you,
you.
Mr. Kiji.
Well, you said Mr. Phil was saying something about automation and
Yeah.
how machinery replaced slaves, made slavery redundant. Well, machinery was built on the slaves, was built on slave wealth.
Yeah, of course.
After they made enough money, that was
Of
when they
course.
started investing in technology to find
Yeah.
how they could replace the labor of the slaves. That look, okay, how can we, after they made enough money from slavery,
Yeah.
that was why they were able to invest a bit of the money
Yeah.
into inventing machines that could replace the slaves, machines that could work for 24/7 without them needing so much slave labor.
Yeah.
So basically, automation was was financed by the labor of the slaves. It was slavery that made it possible. It wasn't like they didn't go into automation because it was there and they didn't use all this time. No. It was facilitated by slavery.
Of course.
Slavery came from
Everything
underneath.
was.
It wasn't, if there was slavery, there would be no automation.
Definitely. But again, it doesn't change anything, does it? Again, look, I'm even trying to tell you, I hope you're hearing me. I'm even trying to tell you that we're coming into a world now where technology is going to make each one of us have a slave. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. What do you think Alexa is to you? Alexa is your slave.
Your mobile phone is your slave.
Technology is bringing that into everybody's hand quietly, but people are not actually realizing it. So again, it's not about having labor anymore. It's what are you actually going to do with the labor? What are you, Rita, going to do with the labor? What is you, Mr. Clay, going to do with the labor? What am I, Mr. Phil, going to do with the labor? That is going to be in our hands like they had 100 years ago. And like Mr. Clay said, take color out of it, because once you put color in it, feelings come into it. Oh, my ancestors, this. Yes. But channel that power, channel that emotion to make sure that this automation and this power coming doesn't leave you behind again. What did I say there? Channel all that emotion, that what we've learned from our suffering, our ancestors suffered. Channel it so that this new age that is coming, you're not left behind again, and now having to experience another form of slavery, because everyone else, Chinese use the technology, everybody used the technology, and then we're left again behind. Because in a world where everyone has slaves, it's what your slave produce that matters. And that is the danger, that while we're in all these emotions, reparation, slavery did this to us, No, but there's a window of opportunity here that we must not miss. And we're in danger of missing that window of opportunity because of, understandably, what we've been through. But let that what we've been through be the motivation to make sure don't miss out this time, and that we're not at the bottom again.
Yeah.
And the best and Mr. Phil, sorry to interject.
Please.
Because you're so much on point there. And the best way to do that is to clean up our own backyard with that technology. Because then by the time you do that, you'll be honing it.
Yes.
You'll be honing it, you'll be sharpening your sword.
Yes.
So by the time you finish doing your own backyard, fixing it, then you look up, you find out that you've actually got you've got the skills now to take somebody up to the next level. Because you're not going backwards to use. It's just like in Africa, in Nigeria, nobody's talking about NITEL. Nobody's talking about, using wired telephone communication, because everybody has a mobile phone. So if you want to go back now, you say, oh, let's start building
telephone infrastructure.
It's like, what are you talking about? That's gone.
Yeah.
So use technology and propel yourself forward with it. Sorry, Mr. Phil, back to you.
No, please don't be sorry. I always, with you, Mr. Clay, I always don't want to cut you, because you are very, what should I call it? You are more economical with your words than I am. So whenever I cut you, I feel like I'm robbing everybody. So please, don't worry.
Because what you were saying there was so on point. That we need to take emotions out of this.
Yes.
This is about getting your focus onto the right aim. And knowing that, listen, it's not about me printing money and telling you shut up. It's more about you developing the skills to be a competitor. Not even a competitor, just to be to be the one to move us forward. Because I know what the UK government now is investing in is they are opening up the borders, believe it or not, to the best minds in the world, around the world, to come into the UK so that they can invent the next set of technology. Just imagine that.
See, they understand it's no longer about color.
True.
They don't care if you're purple.
Purple.
They don't care whether you're
It's the purple lady did it.
Funny enough saying that, do you know that human beings and the black skin is so beautiful that there's some black skin that actually have a purple sheen? They're so black
Never
that
heard of
they
that.
look
Never seen that.
I saw one girl like that, honestly. So black that they're like, you see a bit of purple sheen on them. Anyway, so that's beside the point. So don't be so. But what I'm saying is that they don't care about color. Like I say, UK is the mind. You know why? Because the future is about what you do with the labor.
True.
And labor is useless without the mind behind that labor.
Okay. If I can add something, you were saying about clean up our own backyard. So basically, it's like maybe the diaspora has to go back to Africa and start bringing something in Africa, moving Africa forward. African infrastructure, African communication, African transportation, African health. We must improve the situation from where from our own backyard, from where we've come from.
Absolutely, we have to take full responsibility. But there's a big but. I disagree that we have to physically go back. I agree that we have to extend our network and our influence on the ground in Africa. But you don't have to physically go back, because part of what technology brings is that you don't have to physically go anywhere anymore.
True.
See what I mean? You heard it true.
That's it.
But sometimes it helps when you're on the ground. You can appreciate better, or you can have a better idea. You can have a better grasp of what's
but I just
actually
wanted
going
to
on.
make sure that there's so many people that are not in your position to be able to go on the ground.
True.
So there are so many things that can be done in the diaspora for Africa to not miss this boat. Because there's a boat loading as we speak right now.
Yes.
So let me encourage, you see, what we're talking about tonight is so important. So let me encourage the four of us to share this video so that the conversations can start.
Mm.
And let me encourage everyone that sees this video to share this video as well. We're not saying that we have all the answers. What we're saying is that we're starting the conversation. And the conversation is no amount of money can repay us. The reparation that we're looking for can only come from ourselves. Rika, you're the new generation. What are your thoughts?
Wow. In terms of AI and automation and everything, to be honest, it's very interesting for me. I'm very excited to see how the world is gonna mold and be able to use all of these new technologies that are coming into age. It's also very daunting because what are people gonna do with it? And like you said, we need to start gaining access to these technologies so that we can start obviously giving ourselves our reparations and then not be the bottom of the barrel as we are currently. So in terms of technology, while everybody was talking, I was thinking, I need to start learning code. I need to start learning how to make a robot or something because, you know, like I can't miss the boat. And I don't know if you want to miss the boat, but I ain't trying to miss the boat. Back to you.
Again, one of the things that you can do is share with your peer group this information so that they start thinking about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, because if you don't think about it, it's not in your reality. You don't do nothing about it. Mr. Clay.
That's it. That is it. It's all about, you know, sharing, discussing it, you know, having it in your mind so you can start working on it and knowing what part you want to play in it. I remember when they, you know, I know we're running out of time, so I'm not going to be long.
It's fine. No, take your time. We've got time.
I remember when they said to us that e-commerce was coming. E-commerce was coming, and we were running around with a teaspoon, you know, trying to catch it. while Josh Bezos was building Amazon, you know.
He was building a dam. He was building a dam. And we're going with teaspoon.
You know, we're trying to explain to people, you know, there's gonna come a time you're gonna have a store online and you're gonna be buying and selling online. And this wasn't 100 years ago, you know, my people.
No, it was the 90s.
So don't look at me like that, you know. But people were looking at us like,
what do you mean?
How is that gonna work?
Shops online? What do you mean?
And we
were actually in meetings, and I know how Mr. Clare feels about this because I went through it with him. We were actually in meetings where they were saying, e-commerce is coming. Position yourself. Imagine I was maybe 20-something, 24, 25, 26, and they said e-commerce was coming. I was like, e-commerce is coming. Just like you're hearing AI now. And they gave us this small disc to go and and I was like, I'm gonna count my own little. I didn't even know that e-commerce has gone past me. We saw basically what happened is that e-commerce came. I saw e-commerce went over my head. Went to land in the next galaxy that I couldn't even reach. So all I could do is go, oh, e-commerce is coming. Oh, it's gone.
just to show you the mind, how your mind works, because we were thinking e-commerce, buying and selling online.
Yeah.
So I need to have a shop online.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking.
That's where the limitation ended. We weren't thinking like, okay, my shop needs to have every shop online, you know.
Sorry,
so we weren't thinking Amazon.
No.
So again, we weren't thinking big enough. We were just thinking my store needs to be online I need to buy. What can I sell? That's what we're thinking. What can I sell and buy online? Back to you,
And
Mr. Phil.
even then, what we were thinking of selling was only the product of the company that was talking to us.
Even worse.
We were not even thinking of our own indigenous product, though. We were thinking of, because they were the one that told us. So it makes sense. Only their product is what you're going to be able to sell. And we were just fighting to sell our own little bit to our own little customer base. So like Mr. Clay said, we need to realize what the lesson we learned from that personally is that when we say get ready, the scale of getting ready has to be immense. Mr. Clay.
Yeah. You can't think big enough. Let's start with that. You know, don't think, you just don't be, oh yeah, this is how it's gonna be. And no, you're not thinking big enough. Trust me. Think bigger. So, think bigger. And think
Sorry.
local village, you know, the world being a local village because of technology. Mr. Kiji.
Yeah. It's interesting to see how we have to kind of position ourselves for this new technological age that's coming, because obviously it's going to impact us. And now the question we should ask ourselves is, how are we going to benefit from it? How is it going to serve us? Instead of us just be bystanders, just going to watch it come and watch it go. No. How is it going to benefit us, our community, our continent, and basically lift us up, from our current state? Basically, that's what technology is supposed to be. How it's going to improve our lives, or improve our economy, improve our income. How it's going to impact our lives and improve our income and our well-being. How it's going to serve us. Instead of us just being bystanders to watch the thing come and go, how do we position ourselves and prepare ourselves for the coming, for this, even it's already here. It's like, okay, how can we use it now? How is it going to serve us?
And let me just tell you that, you're not in competition with some weaklings, by the way. The richest man in the world is also thinking this way. All his money.
Yeah.
And all the billionaires are thinking, okay, how do I not get behind the wave? How do I make sure I'm on top of this? So, but wouldn't it be interesting, Mr. Phil, where if the next technology was led, just like Bezos is leading this current age with Amazon. Just imagine a black man actually leads the next revolution, an African.
It is not impossible. And one of the things that I can say is a guarantee. One of the things that I can say is a guarantee, ladies and gentlemen, is that whatever is going to happen, whatever is coming, it cannot sidestep, especially for us Black people, it cannot sidestep the fundamentals, which is, yet again, your personal development. Well, again, it's your personal development connected to mine, connected to Rikes, connected to Mr. Clay, connected to other people around that will create that infrastructure. It will never happen in a vacuum.
Yeah.
There's no, so when we keep talking about personal development and we're talking about building, we're talking about things. Look, there's one thing about human beings, and this is where I'm personally going to end, and I'm going to give it to other people to talk us out. There's one thing about human beings. Human beings are effectively they've been the same from the beginning of time. So what I'm saying is this: I definitely know that I have ancestors that look exactly like me. You have ancestors that look exactly like you that have come before. They are no different from you and I. The only thing that is different in all those ages is technology. Human affairs, when they were riding horse and buggy, when there was not even any horse, human affairs has been human affairs. There have been people that have robbed each other. There have been people that have killed each other. There have people that have helped each other in every age. What is different and what has happened is technology comes and accelerate things. So again, very simple, before social media, affairs has been going on. Man has been seeing woman. Woman has been seeing man. Relationships have been going. Now, social media has come and accelerated that.
Yeah.
Before, in your grandmother's time, she probably had maybe 3 men in her village that were possible people she could marry her entire life. Now, every woman, and it's only in her village, now every woman has hundreds of thousands of men that she can marry around the world because of social media. Same thing with every other human affair and technology. So when AI comes, all it will do is enhance what it meets. So if your personal development is not there, there's nothing to enhance. Just like money. When money comes into the hand of an evil person, it just makes them more evil. When money comes into the hand of a good person, it just makes them able to do more good. So when power comes into the hand of an evil person, it just makes that person able to do more damage. And when power comes into the hand of a good person, it just, so again, that person is the foundation. All technology becomes is a magnifier.
Yeah.
Over to you guys.
Yeah, it all starts from within, you know, like my dad just said, technology is an amplifier. In fact, everything in the world is a reflection of what comes from within you. So if you're not working on that, if you're not on the personal journey of developing yourself from the inside to be somebody who can, well, who the attributes will be amplified to a great degree, then, you know, what can you offer the world? Over to you, Uncle A.
It's exciting times, guys. I'm very excited. And I'm so happy also that technology has made the world a global village. So the idea, so your business partners, your people that you work with, you don't have to come from your town, you don't have to come from your country. They can come from the other side of the world, and together you can do great things. Mr. Kinji.
Yeah, like I guess technology now levels the playing field. And I guess what we look at about cleaning up our backyard now is making that technology available in our backyard or in Africa. Because basically ordinary telecoms is still an issue. The Zoom we're taking for granted now, that just another play thing now, you know, they still struggle with it, as we have just experienced today with some members that can't be here now. So basically, it's getting the infrastructure into place so that they actually can partake in the technological revolution or the technological enhancement that's going on. So that basically bringing it to their hands, making it possible for them to share in the technological advancement that's going. Because now obviously it's lacking. It's lacking. Okay, look at now. We could be talking to anybody in any part of the world, and it's not costing us anything. Imagine the cost of international phone calls. In the past, was it 10 years ago or 5 years ago? But now we are doing a Zoom meeting on the internet with anybody from any part of the world when they can log in. But yet still, in certain parts of Africa, that's the challenge. If only that can be provided, the provision can be made to make it possible for them to partake, to give a channel to them whereby they can, you know, they can come online, they can partake, so that it will make the level playing field even, you know, it will level up to them as well. You know, it will change so many things. It will revolutionize so many things. The banking industry, the medical industry, the telecoms industry, everything will be, you know, look at online banking. Now, who goes to the bank now? No, if you want to pay somebody, do you go to the bank? No, just ask for the account number and just go on your app and transfer the money to them. So you don't even have to go to the bank to pay somebody. Imagine if you want to pay somebody £1 million. You don't have to go to the bank with security and armed men and bullion van. No. You just whip up your phone. You ask him for his account number. You know, you tell him to forward his account number to you. And you tell him to wait less than a minute. He will see his money. Imagine that. So basically, nothing changes hands, but he gets his money in his account and he sees his alert. So he's got the money. Things like these are just smoothing transitions. Technology that changes that makes so many things that takes away the hitches. It smoothens things and even minimizes risks.
Definitely.
That sort of thing. Imagine us being able to do that in our backyard.
Definitely.
Or make it available in Africa.
Sorry to cut you. And now to just add to that, what you're saying there, when you're talking about our backyard, again, this video that we're recording is an example of what you can share. Okay. And again, always start with where you are, because when everything affects everything else.
Yeah.
I keep saying that everything affects everything else. We're in a position now where we used to have this meeting face to face. Now we're able to do it online, and that gives us the opportunity to touch people around the world. But again, the more of us that join these meetings and join this revolution, Mr. Kinji, you have your own meetings with your group. You understand what I'm saying? And we replicate that. That will affect others and could even get to a point where it makes it easier for people in Nigeria. Who knows? People in the diaspora, if it gets to a critical point, there's nothing impossible that we can actually have a chat with a telecommunications company out there. When they see that there is enough of a groundswell, they will improve their offering, they will improve their service. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So again,
it's all about the competition.
It's all about
iron sharpening iron. The minute you introduce competition into the field, the market does its magic. In every
people in Africa, even us doing what we're doing now and sharing and building bigger, even in diaspora, will help people in Africa. Okay. And so sorry, Mr. Clay, please.
Yeah, so it's all about introducing that element of let's iron sharpening iron. Let's improve what we're currently doing. Let's make it an environment where we're not killing each other, but we're actually, progressing and making things better. There's enough food to go around. There's enough water to go around. Let's make life better for each other. I don't have to steal. You don't have this scarcity mentality of I have to steal from you for me to eat. No. We can put our heads together and have more food than we can both eat. Of course. So that's it, Mr. Phil.
All right, Rike, talk us out and we'll round this up.
Yes, peace and love, everybody. This, everything all starts and ends with love. Love your neighbor. I'm not even joking. This is real. Because if we're gonna come together and unify, there has to be love within it. So that's the bottom line. Peace and love, everybody.
Peace and love. Peace and love. Same goodbye.
Peace and love.
Have a nice one, everybody. Have a nice one until next meeting. Bye.
See ya.